this as a difference maker? What was the first moment that you realized that what you were doing was making a difference in the mental health community?
That event that I talked about. When that lady came up afterwards and she was crying and she was like, I needed this. And I didn't know that I did. She said she got invited. Like, this wasn't her event. She got invited by somebody else to come out.
Yeah.
And to watch her transition, the beautiful thing to me is I can almost tension release from people as they start.
Yeah.
I've had so many events where I walk in, there is one person at every event. It never fails. Very similar to what you said. I'm not going to be able to paint that. All I can do is stick figures. And they're dead set on that idea. They are honed in on that concept that I'm here because my friend dragged me out here and I'm here just to support them or whatever the case may be. And that person is always the same person by the end that you've seen them go from stiff trying to paint, and slowly but surely the shoulders start coming down. The arm starts getting a little more free.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they get into the art. And that moment, when that moment happens as the instructor, is probably the brightest moment in the entire event for me. Yeah. It's not the outcome of the pictures. Yeah. It's not, we have 50 people at this event versus 10. It's not the amount of people there.
Exactly.
I have held plenty of events where, especially early on, we've put it out, hey, we're hoping that we get, 15, 20 people to show up. Because I like an intimate setting. We hope that we get 15, 20 people to show up, but only one person has showed up. But that one person still gets that same experience as if there were 20 people in this room. It's probably a better experience because there's only one.
Absolutely.
And they get that one-on-one. We get to have that conversation. We get to really just kind of dig through life stuff while we're creating this image. And the freedom that people have, I feel like that's when I really started to notice, girl, you're not just doing paint and sips. You out here doing therapy for real without them realizing that that's what they're going through.
Yeah.
You got to I feel like we're in the day and age that mental health has become such a big buzzword, right? Like these words like toxic and, this person's a narcissist. No, they're just kind of a jerk. Like, that's a big word to call somebody, you know? But I feel like mental health and all the things that surround it have become such big buzzwords that people don't really stop and take the time to really dig into what that means. Oh, I have anxiety. You're nervous about something. That doesn't necessarily mean you have anxiety.
Absolutely.
You're just nervous.
Absolutely. See, right? I like that. I like that. I'm sorry if I interrupted you just now. Please forgive me, because I want to pin that for a second, because too many times we look for a title, and here's the other part: we look to put titles on other people. For me, that bothers me, because here's the reality of the truth. And I've said this on several different episodes. I'm gonna say it again. I am a very avid reader of the Bible, but here's the most important thing I can tell you about the Bible. The Bible was written for me. That's it. And I don't care who you are. If you use that statement, it still fits. It still fits.
Yep.
Here's the best part about it. I don't get to put a title on you.
Yep.
I'm supposed to help you, like you just said, like we talked about a few minutes ago, a listening ear, to relate to another person. Here's the best part of that whole story you just told, because I like the intimate setting, right? And you said you treat that intimate setting, that one person, as though there were 20 people in there. So that is the definition of a professional, by the way. I just want to make sure I put that out there. A professional doesn't treat anybody differently regardless of the numbers that they thought that was going to show up. It's the craft that actually helps them to be, or the way that they handle their craft is what identifies a professional. So I want to make sure I say that. So hats off to you for that.
Thank you.
But here's the best part about it. The other part of it. That one person, right? When and not saying that you've ever had that, but as a professional, if I let go my interpretation of how many people I was looking for and be thankful for the one person that shows up, the appreciation for that person gives them the bridge that they need to release. That's the other part.
Yeah.
Sometimes what happens, because we talked about energy, right? And again, this is real big for me. Sometimes what happens is the other person won't liberate themselves because you don't build the bridge for them. I think that's important to understand as well. So just like it's their responsibility for their own personal development, it's also ours as well to help others personally develop. And I think a lot of times that's where we miss the mark, because we're so hyper concerned about self.
Right.
It's okay. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to think about yourself all the time. I think one of the most important phrases that I've ever heard, and it really made sense to me years ago when I heard it, you know, humility doesn't mean that I think less of myself. It just means that I think of myself less. So if I look at it from that perspective, yeah, so when I look at it from that perspective, if I spend less time thinking about myself, I can spend more time thinking about how can I help this person? What can I do for you? You know, how are you? I mean, we've lost the art of speaking. I've watched it on several occasions. People will walk past each other, facing the phone. Like, you don't see this big person walking past you and you stuck here? Like, they're here.
Yeah.
Make them a priority instead of what's here. This is part of mental health.
It is.
This phone thing, right? Let's be honest. We live a life through a phone that is fictitious in nature.
Because you're watching highlight reels in truth.
Yes.
When you think about these, I have an entire chapter in my book. we just might as well go ahead. Book me out through December. We just might as well book me out to December. But when you think about it, we present, when you talk about this idea of self, right? We're presenting to the world what we want them to see in that sense of self. But then people are absorbing what we've given them. But how often are you going to present yourself in a negative light, right? So what we're looking at, we're looking at the highlight reel.
Right.
We're watching the high points of everyone's life. And now what we're doing is internally we're comparing our low moments to someone's high moments.
Exactly.
But then we wonder why we are, like, as a culture, we wonder why as a country we're sitting in places and spaces of depression, of anxiety.
Right.
And I won't blame it all on social media.
No.
But technology has taken us into a space and place where I don't think energy and mentally anybody was ever prepared for.
No.
Right? We have everything at instant access. It's not that things have changed in the world, in my opinion. This is 100% my opinion. I don't think things have changed in the world. We just have access to seeing it more frequently.
Right.
And so now it's the desensitization because it's just being hammered at you every single day, all day long.
Yeah.
And you can tailor what you look at through social media.
Absolutely.
Like, I know when I think of my Instagram, my pages are art, inspirational quotes, puppies, because I have dogs. So, like, those are the kinds of things that come up on my feed.
Yeah.
And I hear some people like, I got to get off social media. You know, there's just so much negativity. And I'm like, but we also curate that.
Exactly.
By what we choose to engage with.
Absolutely.
So if you continue to choose to engage with the toxicity, if you will, you wonder why the brain is hurt, why you can't shut it off.
Right. Right.
You got to detach at some point.
I love it. I love it.
You have to.
And I'm
that's
glad
why you can come to the studio and paint with me.
There you go. I love it. Came full circle.
Like, think of it, as you create, though, you're so into the moment of what you're doing. And I think that's what it is, too. Truthfully, I think social media and technology has taken over because people are bored.
Yeah.
People have gotten, like you said, the connection, the community, the conversations. We're not face-to-face engaging anymore.
Right.
There used to be a point in time where you could stand outside and talk to 10 of your neighbors down the street because everybody would just converse back and forth. Right? But how often, just like any of you that are listening, how often have you walked in your house, your neighbor's outside, maybe you wave, but 9 times out of 10, you done put your head down and walk straight in the house.
Yeah.
Why? What's made us afraid, if you will, or what's made us avoidant, or what's made us standoffish to human connection? Because again, we're living behind these screens and we're only presenting these highlights, but your neighbor know your lowlights, right?
Oh wow.
That's why you don't want to talk to the neighbor.
Oh wow, that was good.
I've seen quotes and just people kind of talking on social media like, don't forget, I know you in real life.
Right.
And it's not for me to, knock somebody down on social media and be like, oh, I'm having a great day. No, you're not. You were just telling me your day was horrible. That's not for me to do.
Right, exactly.
Or for anyone, for that matter, to do. But, like, I personally use social media as a tracker for myself. So I post things that I do, things that I'm feeling, things that I'm experiencing, or whatever. Because I like going to those memories.
There you go.
And looking back and seeing, wow, whether it's good or bad. Wow, I was here. And this is where I am now. Or wow, I was going through this, or I was experiencing this, and now this is where I am. And I think that if not done correctly, it can be dangerous because it can send you into that spiral of depression.
Absolutely.
Like, oh, I had this going on, I had this, and now I'm in a different space. But you can also see the things you release too.
Right. I love it. I love it.
So,
Now here's the other part, and I want to make sure that we're 100% equal across the board, because I know there are people out there who love social media. We don't have anything against social media.
no, not at all.
You know, we're just helping. We're just kind of shedding some light on some of the things that people allow social media to do to them. But these are the same people. If it wasn't social media, it would be TV. If it wasn't TV, it would be radio. If it wasn't radio, it would be people in the neighborhood that they don't need to be hanging out with. So it's the same thing. But social media can actually, like she mentioned, you know, she used social media for inspiration, things of that nature. So social media, on the flip side, can be that positivity that you need in your life on a consistent basis as well. And so that's one of the reasons why I created the Facebook group, because I wanted to create a space where there was nothing but positive messaging being posted, you know, on a continual basis. Maybe I'm having a bad day and let me go to a space where my regular Facebook feed is probably not where I want to go to, right? So let me go to a group that has nothing but positive messaging, inspiration, you know, biblical quotes, sayings, things that help get me over. Oh yeah, by the way, some people in this group that I know, that I already know, let me call up, you know, Roland Walker or somebody like that, somebody who I know will speak positivity in me. I can be completely transparent with that person. And that person say, brother, I understand. You know, and I know you. So if you calling me, I know something's wrong. So, you know, there we go. Now we're, you know, being that bridge again for somebody else. So, man, this is good. And yes, ma'am, I will book you through December. Speaking of that, speaking of that, besides talking with me all the way through December, what are your future endeavors like? What's on the plan for you? What's on the playing field moving forward?
Yes. So I just recently joined an anthology with a lot of phenomenal women. So my second publication is out. So my first book, #Impress Yourself, the hashtag is important, you must put it. That was released a couple of years ago. It's a guided journal. And we are releasing, I say we a lot because it's not just me.
Right.
It's, you know, like I said, energy, spirit, all that. It's a lot. But so I am releasing Impress Yourself, the workbook that goes along in accompaniment to Impress Yourself as a book, which is already a guided journal. But now we've kind of fleshed out a lot more of the activities so that you have daily activities that you can do versus just what's right there in the book. So that is coming. Of course, the studio is wide open. Our summer hours are going to be posted by the end of the month for, what is it? I was about to say January. That is not the summer. For June, July, and August, leading out through Labor Day, that we've got great events coming up. We do Zodiac events, like, you know, kind of get people together. We talk about different things that may or may not attach with your Zodiac, things like that. So book signings will be there, of course. Like I said, releasing a couple different journals, vending. So I'll be out at Juneteenth. If anybody's going to be out in Columbia, South Carolina at the Juneteenth Freedom Fest, come check me out down at Benedict College Stadium. So I'll be there for 2 days. But, you know, usually if it's something dope happening, that's usually where you can find me.
All right. Looking for all the dopeness. So let's back up. Let's do this one by one. Yeah. So talk to me about the book. Like, where can I find it? You know, what's the title of it? Yeah.
Yes. So Impress Yourself, you can get on Amazon, or you can just contact me directly. So that's Canvases with Candace, or Candace the Word Artist, Facebook, Instagram, either way. Contact me directly. Canvaseswithcandace.com is my website. So you can go there, order the book through our shop there as well. That'll get you a signed copy, of course. I'm Still Standing as well. That's in pre-sales right now. So you can also go to canvaseswithcandace.com, order your signed copy there. That's scheduled for release in June. So that'll be available at that point. The workbook is still in progress, but everything funnels through the same place. So as long as you go to canvaseswithcandace.com, make sure you stay in touch, sign up for our email list, things like that. You will always be the first to know when things are released, how you can get in touch with me, how you can stay in touch. And I'm very approachable. My phone number is just about on everything. My social media is wide open. Please contact me. If you just want to come hang out, kick it at the studio for good vibes, call me, come kick it at the studio for good vibes.
I love it. Just so that you know, next time I'm coming through, I'm coming by the studio and
you have to
kicking it. So I think you kind of gave us a lot of this already, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got canvaseswithcandace.com. Canvaseswithcandace.com. It's like a tongue twister.
It is.
Right?
It is.
So we got that part. Run through your social media again and give it to us, because you went through that kind of fast.
I make everything seamless. Canvases with Candace on everything. That's Instagram, that's TikTok, that's Facebook, that's Twitter. Well, it's Canvases with C on Twitter. But Canvases with Candace everywhere. You can also find me at Candace the Word Artist on Instagram and Facebook. And so that is a lot more of my authorship. So my writings, things like that are really funneled through that way. But either way, I'm on just about every platform you can think of.
This is so good. This is so good. Just so that you know, I need the signed copy for my book.
Okay.
So I'm not going to Amazon. Doggone it.
Got it. I got you.
All right, this is like my favorite part. It also signifies, identifies it as being the end as well. So there's, it's kind of like a mixed bag for me. It's my favorite part, but it's also like the most depressing part because we got a part. I need one final thought. You gave us so much good stuff today. And I hope everybody was listening to what you were saying, because if they did, they can't walk away from this conversation the same.
Yes.
So I need one final thought. Now, this isn't just a regular thought. This is like the heaviest one for the day. So, drum roll, please, and floor is yours, ma'am.
All right. So when I think of art, mental health, and how they really connect, at the end of the day, as we've been talking through this entire conversation, that energy goes wherever you push it. And when it comes to art, like I said, whatever type of creative realm space that you use, whatever medium flows through you, allow yourself to release that energy in that way. But you have to release it. You cannot hold on to energy. You can't keep it to yourself. And it's almost your moral obligation when you learn or have the ability for something. It's almost a moral obligation. You have to share it. And don't think about what the result is. Don't think about what someone's going to have to say about it. Because if you spend your entire life worrying how someone is going to judge you, you are letting the wrong people in your life potentially. But remember, you're the artist. You create your canvases day by day. Not just a physical painting, but every morning you wake up with a blank canvas that you get to go out and create. But you also are the curator of that gallery, so you can allow who you want to come in and view those canvases. So be mindful who you let in your gallery. Keep your energy flowing. Know when to accept and when to release, and keep creating.
Man, I love it. I'm gonna violate my own rule, and I just want to throw perfectionism in with that as well. Just don't lose the idea or the just the concept where it has to be perfect, right? That perfectionism is an endless pursuit of itself.
Yes.
So you would never catch it. So just forget it. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the art that you come up with, and then just keep building on it one by one. So I violated my own rule. I apologize, but what you were saying was so good. I couldn't help it. Grab hold of your coattail.
That's collaboration. That's what I love.
There you go. I love
That's
it.
it.
Canvas. Canvas. See, tongue twister.
It has.
Your name is Canvas now. No, I'm joking.
Right.
Candace, I love the time that we spent together in this conversation. It was just amazing. It was therapy for me, believe it or not. So I appreciate you for that. And I need a dedicated slot on your calendar. I'm not joking with you. I'm serious.
Right.
I'm coming to Columbia, but
Okay.
I need a dedicated slot on your calendar because we need to talk more often. Because I just believe that you and I have only scratched the surface of the conversations that we can have. So on behalf of the Empowering Perspective community, I thank you. I appreciate you. And with that being said, again, just thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your efforts. And thank you for all that you do with Canvases with Candace.
There you go. Thank you so much. Those of you who are out watching, listening, you made it this far, right? So that shows you can complete something. So step one done. Y'all have a phenomenal week, summer, year, all of it. I'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right.